there you go. They pushed the buzzer. The day is off and running. Thursday's trading session now underway. And let's take a look at the big board in the extremely early going. We're about 12 seconds in. But a lot more green, as you can see. Honeywell, Goldman Sachs, Apple leading the charge. But the Dow modestly up about 6 points, just above the watermark. Let's take a look at the S&P 500, see where we stand there. The S&P gained yesterday modestly, up again today, up 1/3%, up 12 points at 41.53. And take a look at the NASDAQ. That also managed to eke out a gain yesterday, up again this morning, very early on, up 0.5%, up 66 points. Let's take a look at big tech. We always like to look at these big cap market stocks. Apple up nearly 1% right out of the gate. Amazon, Meta / Facebook up 0.8. Alphabet / Google up 0.5%. Microsoft essentially flat. All right, let's begin the day. Why not? With Tesla. First day of trading after the 3-for-1 stock split, making it more accessible for more investors. That's the theory. Susan Lee, what do you got on Tesla?
Yeah, $300 instead of $900, and the stock is rallying today. You had Wedbush, Dan Ives there, raising his target price to $360 this morning on the stock split, but also improvement in China. And you have to remember that Tesla split their stock just 2 years ago, back in 2020. That was a 5-for-1 stock split then. Now in 2020, the stock reaction afterwards was that the stock actually dropped the day after the split, and it was down around 14% in the month afterwards. However, you do have some good news from Tesla, or for Tesla from China. $150 billion in stimulus that was announced last night. And that's good news, by the way, for Tesla car sales and production there. Also, it's lifting Chinese stocks like Alibaba, JD, and Pinduoduo, which is listed in the U.S. So those stocks are doing pretty well this morning.
Yeah, up 1.5%. Now, I want to take a look at Peloton. They reported before the bell. The question is, how bad was it?
Well, I mean, the stock kind of says it all. We're down 15%, so they lost $1.2 billion in 3 months. That's a big deal.
Ouch.
And they lost $3 billion over the entire year. Now, we've kind of known this because the stock is down almost 100% so far in 2022. That's dramatic. And demand is down for Peloton bikes and treadmills. People are going back into the gyms. And if you want a Peloton, you already have one. So this is the saturation effect here. Now, sales are down by 1/3 from a year ago. Cash burn is high. Restructuring, including job cuts, store closures, and Peloton will now start selling on Amazon. We reported that yesterday. First time they're selling on an outside platform, and this is to get more distribution, more people interested. Now, what I found interesting was also the CEO, Barry McCarthy, on the earnings call. You know, he actually calls these results, $1.2 billion in losses in 3 months, as progress for the company.
I don't know how many people are believing that,
Well,
down
I mean,
almost 15%.
Imagine you were an investor.
It says it all. Yeah, exactly. That's not progress. All right. Also, a number of retailers reported earnings. Let's begin with Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, so you're going to hear this running theme throughout retailers talking about being hurt by inflation, also slowing sales of lingerie, not helping Victoria's Secret either. So as a result, they're going to cut their full year outlook. And they say that customers are cutting back on spending. Not surprising. Same thing you heard at Abercrombie and Fitch as well. And they're down. And this was surprising. They actually reported a surprise loss when Wall Street expected them to make some money at least in 3 months. They're also reporting lower than expected sales, and as a result, not surprising, they're saying that they're not going to have as good a year as anticipated, and they're blaming higher prices. Also, consumers, as a result, are not spending as much. And then I want to show you Dollar General and the discounters. Here's the counter trade here. Well, it was up in the pre-market. Now they're down, but Dollar General came out with better results in a slowing economy. Same-store sales were actually better, higher than anticipated. They're boosting their share buyback by $2 billion, and Dollar Tree actually had a fantastic quarter as well. But the problem here is that they're cutting their full year earnings outlook because of pricing investments and pricing related investments at its Family Dollar stores.
Okay. By the way, NVIDIA reported after the bell yesterday. Tough report. The stock down 1.5% today.
You know, actually it was down 5-6% in the after hours. So, you know, you're down 1 1/3, and not as bad. So gaming chip sales are still going to be lower, according to the CEO. Challenging environment, Jensen Huang said, for PC graphic chips. So they missed on profit and sales, despite already, by the way, pre-announcing these disappointing lower sales. And they're blaming the global slowdown that's taking place. Also, they're going to adjust some pricing as a result. Now, data centers actually did better. That means cloud is booming. Cryptocurrency mining chips, they say, not adding much to the bottom line.
All right. And by the way, did Salesforce also slash their outlook?
Yeah, it's surprising because, you know, I just talked about NVIDIA pointing to growth and a booming business in cloud, but Salesforce isn't doing better than anticipated. They're not doing badly, but still, they had unexpected earnings weakness and guidance wasn't that great as well. Now, Snowflake, now here's a booming cloud provider here, cloud warehouser. I saw Snowflake, it was up almost 17% in the after hours, and they easily beat on sales. So if you want a boom, you take a look at Snowflake.
It's Snowflake. All right, we'll have to leave it right there. Great stuff, Susan, as always. Thank you so much. Just take a look at the big board as we get this day underway. About 6 minutes in, and already the Dow's turned negative, down 59 points, just down 0.2%. But let's take a look at the Dow winners among the ones leading the way, if you like. Dow, Caterpillar, Boeing up 1.25%. As we mentioned earlier, Apple up nearly 1%. Nike, too, up 0.75%. Take a look at the S&P 500 winners. See who's leading the pack there. Number of names for you. Carnival up there, up 3.33%. Royal Caribbean also up 3%. Autodesk up 5% as well among the leaders. And how about the Nasdaq? Well, Autodesk, which was on the S&P, also up 5%. AMD, DR Barton talked about that. That stock up 2.75%. Micron, Align Technology, and Microchip Tech all moving higher today. Let's take a look at the 10-year yield. It was earlier above 3%, right around 3.1. There it is. It's down slightly, 4 basis points, but still above 3%. Let's take a look at gold. See where gold is. Up $9 this morning at $1,770. About a 0.5% gain. What about Bitcoin? See where Bitcoin is trading right now. Down $110, down 0.5% at 21,600. What about crude oil? It's under 100 at least. It's at $95, up 29 cents this morning. Take a look at natural gas. It's going to be a big story this winter, certainly in Europe. Almost flat, up very slightly at $9.36. And the average price, by the way, for a gallon of regular, $3.87. What about diesel? Let's take a look at that if we can. I believe it's right at $4.98. That's a lot more expensive, especially for those big 18-wheelers.